Alright, take 4. We're going to get it done this time. My name is Mithos. We're going to be casting a game today between Radiant and the Dire. Got this one off r/dota2castit. I'm told very high skill, about 48 minutes worth of action. And what else was this match called? The title of it was very high skill, 104 kills, 48 minutes, 30k gold and experience, 8k gold swing. So I'm assuming we're going to see a pretty heavy comeback here. That's about all that I have got in terms of predictions, but we do have the lineup in front of us. It was all pick rather than captain's mode, so I figured that with random teammates and all pick, there wasn't too much to do in terms of draft commentary. But on the Radiant, we'll have Tiny, Dark Willow, Earth Spirit, Jakiro, and Necrophos. Interestingly enough, no real, I would say, carry there. The new Tiny is definitely a core, but not a hard carry in the traditional sense, although don't underestimate this team in terms of control and damage. That Dark Willow can really be a nuisance, as we saw in the International that finished up just yesterday. EG's crit playing it to good effect, as well as some other people. And Necrophos, depending on which lane you put him in, is a quite formidable opponent. On the Dire side, it's going to be Venge, Nyx, Crystal Maiden, Broodmother, and Sven. A lot more traditional cores on that, I would say. Sven, Broodmother. Venge played as a core these days. Nyx most often a roamer. And Crystal Maiden, the quintessential support, some might say. But if I had to give it right now, I would say that the Dire has the easier road in the late game, just because Sven carries really hard. He can get a BKB, God Strength, Echo Saber, and work on the Tiny. Broodmother the same way. Her rat is nearly unstoppable, up there with the ranks of Tinker and Nature's Prophet when played right. However, the Radiant side has a lot more control and a lot more high skill cap heroes. The Dark Willow, Earth Spirit, even the Tiny now with the way you have to manage the tree charges. So could go either way depending on which side has the stronger execution. So we're going to go ahead and jump in right now after the load times. I probably will be referring to them by hero names, because I'm not going to figure out how to pronounce a bunch of lines for the Jakiro, nor do I read Chinese characters, so Necrophos kind of sort of out of luck. But load in. Gonna see who takes this one home. Again, my name is Mithos. You can find me on Twitter at aka Mithos, or at Twitch on twitch.tv/Zaladin. That's ZALEDEN, but you probably know that if you're here. So we're going to go ahead and put this camera operator on and send it in. We've got Last Citizen's Eyes up CS already, although it's still 0-2-0. We're going to have Crystal Maiden, Vengeful Spirit, and Sven up in the top lane. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them go contest one of the bounty runes early on. Are getting pings out already from the Crystal Maiden. They're expecting some sort of rotation, and indeed the Earth Spirit, Mr. Kama over here there. Don't know if they spotted him out. They will now. Hopefully, for the Earth Spirit's sake, they think he put the ward on the high ground rather than while he was rolling away. It's a pretty clever trick. It looks like it will be the Earth Spirit and Jakiro up in the top lane for the Radiant, while Necrophos,
30 seconds
Dark
to
Willow,
pass.
and Tiny in the bottom. Put my money on Necrophos going mid. He'll face up against the Broodmother, who, interestingly enough, doesn't go invisible when she's in her webs anymore. Makes the hero a little bit, I hesitate to say more balanced, but definitely gives her a downside that didn't before, and it kind of feels better to play against. Meanwhile, Nyx maybe solo in the offlane, want to get him some levels early on. We'll take the Impale up in case of a contest, but looks like we have our first fight going top, or maybe not.
Ain't no
They'll just zone out the Jakiro. Earth Spirit already made his way down to the bottom, and we will trade off runes 3 for 1 actually. Tiny gets his, and the top tri-lane successfully wards off the Jakiro. Just going into the first lane at the moment. Looks like Earth Spirit's rotating back around. Maybe will be a roaming Earth Spirit just in general, although he is one that wants to get some levels early, so hopefully we see him take action and spend a stone and roll toward the lane. Meanwhile, down bottom,
I'm toying with you.
Anamander, the next
Understand that,
assassin,
right?
just leeching the experience. Not really. There's one deny coming out from the Dark Willow, and she is going to harass him away, still staying within experience range, if only just. Top lane stun out onto the Jakiro. He's going to turn around for one last auto attack with the he will it now. I was going to say auto attack with the liquid fire. Crystal Maiden does get him, and they're going to stun in on the Earth Spirit. He'll be able to get out as soon as he has Rolling Boulder in 1 second. There it is. Everyone's low. You might want to go in. Sven blocks his path. Going to put him down. The Crystal Maiden will take the kill, and Sven's salves up, ready to come back in the lane. Liquid Fire out onto Vengeful Spirit. Jakiro rotating back around. Sven now back to full health, ready to bully them out of the lane. 2 quick kills for the Dire, and Venge will likely have to go home. This isn't turbo mode, so they don't have the ability to get money and fairy salves out. And then Earth Spirit goes in, stuns on 2, but it's not very long. Jakiro going to throw out the Liquid Fire. Has the Dual Breath, Liquid Fire available. We'll use it on Crystal Maiden, make it this kill, 1 auto attack. The stun goes out, they won't see him, but Earth Spirit does. He's not in range, so Crystal Maiden will get away. Sven getting low. Not Liquid Fire again, the Dual Breath does catch him out. And Venge getting low, they'll see. Earth Spirit drops the stun one more time. Crystal Maiden still low, hanging on the backside. Sven will do some auto attacks with anti-stun, get that last kill on Jakiro, and Earth Spirit's left alone, rolls in. Crystal Maiden already did tangoing up, as well as the Clarity, and does have Crystal Nova ready to go. One interesting thing, I don't know if you watched the video Purge put out about the change for Crystal Maiden taking Crystal Nova instead of Frostbite first, but especially before the recent nerf, I think 7.19 nerfed the damage slightly, but that skill with the Arcane Aura is a lot more damage per mana, given that you can hit multiple targets with it. So if every time Crystal Maiden hits, assuming that Jakiro's in the lane too, she'll actually get 130 times 2, one for Earth Spirit, one for Jakiro, for the 130 mana, rather than just the 150 damage of Frostbite. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, looks like we want to go. The Willow throws down the Brambles, and stun, not Earth Spike, the Impale. Wow, I really am rusty at this, but the Impale from Nyx Assassin will get 2. Bounty Rune's going to come up in about 2 minutes. A lot of posturing going on. Earth Spirit kills out on the Crystal Maiden. Very active top lane, I think. 5 kills and they're all in the top lane? Yeah, 5 kills and they're all in the top lane. Dual Breath out onto Sven. He will be slowed up and doesn't have a salve yet. The Courier is waiting in base, but I think could have had Crystal Maiden bring that out to him. We'll decide not to. Rotations on mid. Necrophos gets away. It's on his dual Death Plus is on cooldown. He uses his last tango and we'll get the kill on Venge just by existing. And the Crystal Maiden as well, so he'll regen up with that Death Pulse stack. Say this, I still want to say that, but no, got changed to an innate ability much like Silencers. Or no, it's not like Insteel, it's just has to do with Death Pulse rather than Necro himself. Willow rotating around in bot again, however, this ward, I can't draw because this is a replay. This ward will spot him out, so Nyx will know to go to the side of the lane and rotate up. Avalanche out, the Cursed Crown stun, tossed back onto Willow. He pops the spiked Carapace and will try to get away, but Tiny picks up a tree. Willow does some auto attacks, thrown tree, won't quite get the kill. Is she in range for one more? Impale comes out, this kill is going on to the Nyx, yeah. Wow, well, good turn as he walks away, not quite in the range for that last auto attack on Dark Willow. And we'll rotate back up to the top here, where Earth Spirit and Jakiro are posturing quite a bit more. Haste Rune picked up on the Necrophos from the bottom, gonna rotate back in, is level 6, does have the Reaper Scythe up. Soul Ring out for the Broodmother, that's not good for her. And she'll run away before the Death Pulse comes in to be able to get out. Pings out on the Bounty Runes, 5 minutes just came up. Venge rotating around top, is only level 2 though, so we'll get the stun out on Earth Spirit. Looks to use Wave of Terror, but he will just split the gap and roll out. Jakiro gets stunned up, and Cursed Crown from Willow in to save him, catches on 2. The stun on all 3, the Cursed Crown stuns the Venge, and they will try to get the kill. No mana out to stun. Sven rotates away. Support giving its life, and the Sven will TP back home for the heal. Crystal Maiden throws out the Frost, the Crystal Nova one more time. Why don't I want to say Frost Blast? That's Lich. You can tell how much I've casted in a while. Necro actually picks up the Phase Boots rather than the Mana Boots. Probably will go a damage build and indeed has the Radiance queued up. Death Pulse out. One more will clear up this stack of Spider Links or Spider Wraiths. I don't know which one they all are, but they will rotate away before he can do that. Some Compendium taunts out from Jakiro. He sees just the lane right now. They don't have vision of that Crystal Maiden. And Venge is actually rotated down in the bottom to help Nyx get this level 6 and push the Tiny out of lane. Tiny, level 5 himself, has to rotate into the jungle. No items queued up for him yet. Does have 1,300 gold. Probably an Echo Saber will be his first pickup, I would imagine. Or a Blink Dagger. I don't know what he's saving for, but it could be either one. Does have level 3 in the toss, so maybe a magic damage build. Maybe he'll get the Blink Dagger. It would make the most sense if he's saving up that much. Pings out top. Dual Breath thrown on the entire wave. Willow, only level 3, but is still here. Won't get off the Shadow Realm in time, and doesn't need to because Sven is just rotating back out. Sven picks up an Infused Raindrops for that little extra gank protection, and will be going for his treads first. Crystal Maiden about to pick up the Triangle Boots. Jakiro TP's back home, and a pretty quiet map. Necro wants to go in, wants those extra spiders. Is level 8 to the level 6 on Broodmother. Is way outdoing her in terms of last hits. 59 and 9 to Broodmother's 25 and 0. And still really quiet. We've got Tiny farming up in the bottom lane, still saving for that Blink Dagger. Venge and Nyx both here. In terms of level, Necro far and away the highest. He does rotate out shortly, maybe looking for a rune. Gonna come back in. Broodmother has Soul Ring. Will use it to spam some extra spiders. And doesn't want to use that too close to Necro because he will pick up with the Reaper Scythe. Only level 1 at the moment, but that doesn't matter that much when you're low. Another TP up top is Revenge. Stun on Jakiro. Bramble's going out. Earth Spirit kick stun onto Cursed Crown going on to Sven. He will throw a stun on the Earth Spirit. Might try to deny himself to the neutrals, or he'll just get out and look to heal. The Jakiro lagging behind and throw out one last Dual Breath. A stun out from Venge. No mana though. Crystal Maiden has the Frostbite, and all the auto attacks in the world won't get him. Well, the last stun, and it does. That stun is level 3 from Sven. 250 damage, or 220-ish, I guess. Never do math in public, rule number 1, but Tiny, 2,000 gold, gets stunned up by the Nyx while he's trying to get some last hits. Denies up the ranged creep. That puts Tiny, well, that puts Tiny still 41 and 8, sitting only second to the Necro, who's doing great work in mid lane. Will throw out the Death Pulse. Could go in for the Reaper Scythe now. I think it would get the kill. It's 0.6 damage for missing HP, and I missed a kill up on top. Nyx rotates in. Will get 1 as he loses 2, and the Cursed Crown will make him rotate back away. I was too interested to see what this Necro does. He's almost level 10 to pick up that talent. Will probably be the first to get a tower here, even though it gets denied. Throws out the Death Pulse. Auto attack besides, and Sven's rotating in. So is the Crystal Maiden. This could be a dead Necro. The spiders are going to go in for this surround, but he does have level 4 Death Pulse. Gets onto half. There goes the stun. Throws the Death Shroud. Will use this heal, but the Death Shroud's already worn off. Dota Plus saving the day. He's trying to heal himself up, trying to get out. Earth Spirit has a haste rune, but will die to the Broodmother with that insatiable hunger, increasing her damage by 60. Tiny picks up his Blink Dagger. He's been left alone and unmolested in the bottom lane since Nyx started roaming top. Could look to start ganking now. Nyx picks up his Urn as his first item. Then gonna go straight Dagon. Already has the Null Talisman. And got an Earth Spirit Boulder that just died there. So pings out all around. Bounty Runes just came up, 10 minutes. Necro picks up a... Oh, we're going to miss the gank up top. Throw out the Flameful Maze on Cursed Crown onto the Nyx. Popped the Spike Carapace early and will Vendetta just to get away, although they do know where he is thanks to the Cursed Crown. And he'll go throw a little bit of damage on Jakiro, but Jakiro is tanky. Dark Willow stunned up under the tower, takes a couple hits, probably will... doesn't have Shadow Realm up to get away. Will take some damage, but if the Crystal Maiden rotates in, there's one spell, there's one auto attack. There's a second auto attack and he goes down. They won't even be trying to go for Jakiro. Meanwhile, Tiny dies. I didn't see where that happened, and I'm not going to rewind for it. Broodmother trying to farm into the jungle, and must have been Sven down in the bottom. He doesn't have any items up yet except for the Morbid Mask, but Tiny must have been low. Ben's going to TP in mid, maybe look for the rotation around Necro. Is level 11, the highest level in the game right now. That's KDA. Hero beating out the Broodmother by 2. And just like I said during the draft, this Radiant side has all of the control, and they're just kind of flaunting it. Earth Spirit, 10 magic stick charges. Silence out on the Nick, rolls in, tossed up, stunned, and he gets off the Spike Carapace. Will it be enough? It probably won't. He'll take down from the, well, the not even taking down, just the tree grab. And Earth Spirit wants to go in, despite Sven TPing in. He does have a roll available in 1. He'll magnetize on the Crystal Maiden. Will miss the boulder, and he'll try to roll away. Gets it. Does he have a TP? He does, but no mana in 10 seconds. Bramble Maze thrown down just to make sure they don't. Crystal Maiden getting low. Stun out on a Tiny. Cursed Crown will take the Sven down. Stunned up, and will they be able to get out? Tiny is trapped in a corner. His Blink Dagger on cooldown, and no, the stun kills the Dark Willow, and the auto attack will get Tiny. Earth Spirit, though, still alive, could TP out. Might want to go in, swap back on Jakiro. Stun available, used up. Sven is there with the follow-up and the God Strength as it runs out. So Earth Spirit does... No, he doesn't get the TP out. Hold on, where is he? Okay, he does get the TP out. I missed that one. They still think he's there, though, so they threw a couple extra spells. Crystal Maiden pinging out on the double damage rune in the bottom. Meanwhile, Broodmother has her lane. Going to go ahead and farm, building up on the Orchid. Already has the Oblivion Staff. Does have Strength Treads. I'd like to see her switch off if she's going to do more damage. Dodges out the Avalanche, and the Tree Throw kills the Spiderlings, but she's going to go in level 10 to the Tiny's level 9. He has 1 level in Grow. But other than that, all damage and no survivability. Top, the Nyx will go down to Jakiro, or excuse me, the Jakiro will go down to the Nyx. Not too surprising considering how many heroes are up here on the top for Dire, putting our kills to 9 and 13. Willow gonna Shadow Realm away, wanted to go in for the, no, not for the room, maybe to place a ward. We'll place the Bramble Maze. Broodmother puts down the web to get away. The Reaper Sight to hold her in. Cursed Crown goes out, turns back, and that last Death Pulse, if she doesn't get a heal, will kill her. The Shrine is down for 300 more seconds. It wasn't just been used, and actually regens. I know she just used it, regened it up. Swap back on the Dark Willow. Stun will get the kill, and Necro's going to try to get out. I don't know why he popped that now. There's all magic damage around him, and this is likely going to be his demise. He doesn't have any mana for heal, and will just get stunned up. Earth Spirit rotates in. Might want to go for a kill, and the Tiny's there to support him, but Tiny's not at full health, so he doesn't really have the health to take this. We'll place down the runes, spot them go down, and stuns out on the Nyx. There's a toss, there's an avalanche. Quick kill goes down to magnetize that onto Broodmother as well as the spiders, but that's all they've got with low mana and running out of stone charges. I guess used 2, does have 4 more. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sven pops the Warcry, goes back in. Tower is still pretty healthy. Only tower down is the Dire mid tower. That was just because Necro was so good. And Broodmother going to farm up with Spiderlings. Venge picks up a double damage. They might want to go in. Swap is available. Earth Spirit says okay. And Tiny just regenning with the Clarity, farming some waves. TP up to the top. That will be your Venge. Defend, they're going on Sven, stun out, kills Jakiro. Necro's still here though. Reaper Scythe on cooldown for a while yet. Wasn't available to use on Sven, won't be available for the next fight. Pings out on bottom, Avalanche toss on Nyx, Bramble Maze, Terrorize will go. Nyx being forced back, Earth Spirit rolls in and gets the kill. Dark Willow just cleans up the aftermath, and Tiny gets away to pick up his treads. Venge on top will spot out the bounty rune, pick it up, and they are trading 3 for 1. Or, no, that's an arcane rune. That is 3 for 1. Venge picked up 2 of them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Getting fed up with this already. GG well played, he calls. And I guess there's some sort of graphical bug. I'm not able to see when the shrines are up in this replay by the map or by the picture alone, unless I click on them in the fog. So we'll have Venge in the middle as the Dark Willow and her Spirit are here. Pings out on a Brood Mother. I don't think they see it. Willow maybe showed there for a second. I forget my vision hotkeys, otherwise I'd show that now. Avalanche toss onto the Venge, stun out. Will survive only for a second until the Boulder Smash comes out. And the Bramble Maze makes sure that the Nyx won't be able to come in and help out his friend. Vendetta off cooldown though, almost getting to the Dagon recipe. Throws out Mana Burn onto Earth Spirit. And Necro gets the kill onto Sven in the top, using very precise. He is alone though. He will try to TP out. He'll get the TP out. Crystal Maiden must not have had enough mana for the Frostbite. Avalanche used down here onto the Nyx. They'll kill Nyx. That's 2 down, 3 down for the Dire. But Jakiro does pay for it with his life. Broodmother just trying to get out. They know he's here because they see the webs, but not going to be able to do anything 1 versus 3. Yeah, because Necro's in the middle. Venge decides it's better just to TP down to the bottom. Tiny gonna go in on this tower. They should be able to pick it up here. Fortify available for Dire, but no one's gonna rotate in to save this one. It's just to save them the time. Or excuse me, to buy them the time, not save them any time.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
His Orchid. Gonna go talk about items here for a second. Nyx TP's up to the top while we're doing this. Looks like Jakira's gonna be picking up the Yules. He's almost there. Anything else interesting? Nyx still working on the Dagon. Blink Dagger picked up on the Crystal Maiden as well. And Orchid on the Brood. Bunch of Tranquil Boots, an Urn per side, 1 on the Nyx, 1 on the Earth Spirit. And that's about it. Sven picks up his BKB as well. So swapping over to net worth. Big surprise, Necro is the top. He's got not the most kills anymore. That goes to Sven. Stun out onto Necro. Earth Spirit goes through, terrorize onto all of them, and the Magnetize is going to take 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, and it's going to be 4. Make it 5 kills, not by the Magnetize, but Willow gets 2.
Double kill.
Venge goes down as well. That's 5 kills onto the Dire side, and no one on the Radiant gets lost. Good game, well played. The Earth Spirit says as he picks up his own Blink Dagger. There you go. There's the Shrine again. I guess it was off cooldown. Couldn't see that one. But the rest of them stayed in the top. The rest of them being Jakiro and Tiny stayed top for the push. Necro TP's mid. And we could have a dual prong push. 2 already back up. 5 seconds until Venge and Sven come up themselves. Backdoor protection going on the tower. And some liquid fire chip damage as well as the creep wave. While Tiny decides he'd rather farm the jungle instead of pushing. Interesting choice. Necro, there it is. Necro has his Radiant, so it's just got a little bit harder for the for the Dire. They do have a couple of right-click heroes. That's the Sven and the Broodmother. Their mischance, well, they'll get the Jakiro without that, doesn't matter. But they will have to contend with the Radiant's mischance. That's a 17%, and everyone knows in Dota when something is 17%, it's 100%. Just ask Spirit Breaker. Crystal Maiden blinks forward. Nyx throws the Vendetta on. They see the Necro thanks to this high ground ward here, and they're going to want to go on him, but he's already rotated back. And they'll have to opt to go in on this. Well, they're going to try to save the Venge. Won't be successful. Bramble Maze as well as Earth Spirit stuns will ensure the kill. And he uses an Urn on himself. 7 charges now. Not ideal. I don't know if how many people actually notice, but if an Urn is empty, it actually gets 2 charges. So more, quote, cost effective to keep your Urn empty and use it as much as possible, provided that you're getting the kills. If you're not getting a lot of kills, you might want to save it just in case, but if you want to get the most charges out of it, keep it empty. Pushing into the bottom, couple more TPs. Venge will come, ping out on top, and Sven and Broodmother don't want to contest this just yet. They want to get some more farm up. They're lagging behind the Necro at net worth. Not far, but enough. In fact, as 2 and 3, they'll put their team in a good place, but this Necro is a scary, scary thing. You want to pick up the Blink Dagger next instead of the Ag, which is another option, or Dagon. Kind of surprising to me, but I guess they're feeling the aggressiveness. They want to keep the pressure on, and they want to have, I guess that'll be their 3rd Blink Dagger to get the edge on initiation. 2 out on the Dire already, 1 on the Crystal and 1 on the Sven. And so the Radiant wants to just keeping the pressure on. There's Nyx's Dagon 1. A good item, especially when you have the Dark Willow on the other team, who's very squishy. But pretty soon, with the Necro out-leveling everyone, the hero strength gain is 2.6, so he's already really tanky. Tiny at some point is going to become a raid boss, and Earth Spirit's a strength hero as well. Another kill down in the bottom two. No one's surprised. Necro throws out his Reaper's Scythe. But the point being, this Dagon's probably going to be a little bit too little too late. He's sitting down only 5k net worth right now, 5.5. But the Radiant side is very, very tanky. They're only going to get tanky, with the exception of the Willow. But if she's playing it right, she's got the Shadow Realm to keep her alive and not be targeted. So Nick's going to have some struggle to figure out which target to Dagon here if his team doesn't get the jump. So TPing up to the top, 2 heroes, both the Earth Spirit and the Dark Willow. They're going to want to go in on Sven. Not showing yet. The God Strength pop, blinked away, Magnetize misses, roll forward and stun out. Terrorize to use. Sven doesn't have a BKB to dodge that yet, but Earth Spirit's not going to want to go in after that. He has only about a third of his health left. Actually about exactly a third of his health left after that happened. Shikiro TP's in the middle while there's a fight bottom. Tiny is invisible. He'll Avalanche, toss Revenge. She'll go down, and this illusion will go on to Necker, who actually got that kill. I did miss. He got the Shadow Blade, but Sven, farming up in the top, did pick up the Echo Saber as it comes out to him. 17 magic wand charges, though. I haven't been able to use them effectively. Shrine pinged out. I'm guessing it just came off cooldown. Come on, camera, let me look at it. Yep, did just come off cooldown. The Tiny wants to use it for his mana. He's a bit mana poor, and the Willow will just use it before he gets there. So unfortunate for Tiny. Unfortunate indeed. The double damage rune gets pinged out. I don't think they knew it was a double damage rune at the time. Actually, the Necro picks it up. Interesting choice. Although Reaper's Scythe is available, he'll want to use that. Has his Blink Dagger. Tiny, they don't see. Blinks up. Stunned out. Tiny blinks up. Avalanche toss, and we'll decide. I think that was the cast animation for it. Wanted to use it, but the kill came out too quick. Interesting that the Venge Illusions apply on hit effects. Didn't know that. Roll forward. Gonna be off the mark, but silenced, stunned. Gonna Avalanche toss and gonna spend the Reaper's Scythe for the support. Interesting choice. Stun out onto the Shadow Realm Willow. Slowed up and throws out the Cursed Crown onto the Crystal Maiden before she goes down. Oh, bad stun. Hits on 2. Crystal Maiden will go down in the middle of it. Stun up from the Nyx. He'll use the Slight Carapace. Sven has God Strength, but no team to back him up, so he'll want to rotate away. Stunned out the tree grab thrown on him, but he'll go down to the Necro, if not the Death Pulse, and then the Aura, whichever one it was. And that's effectively another wipe. These two came back up. The Crystal Maiden and the Brood came back up in the middle of the fight, but they were not there for the bulk of it because they went down early. So Radiant pushing in now. Tiny low. Could go to the other shrine, I suppose. But will opt to TP back to the base. Well, Necro is just pushing and pushing. He'll get the tower kill. His net worth is not, well, it's double of the, more than double of the Nyx, who spots him out now. The Radiant He'll silence out, get Vendetta stunned, Crystal Maiden, and there goes the streak to the Crystal Maiden, who is now quite rich. Got, well, I don't know how much gold she had at the beginning, but that's 961 just for the kill. I think it's another 300 or so for the streak, and now she'll try to pick up that Glimmer Cape and 100 more gold and go support the Sven. Meanwhile, Sven picks up another TP, didn't get that delivered to him before he TP'd out. Wants to probably, I don't know, maybe pick up a crit next. It'll be interesting to see. I would go for BKB if I was the Dire now. And on top, we're going to have a clash of Titans. Tiny has a haste rune. Brood, Venge, Wave of Terror will just miss. Pinged out though. I think they know Tiny's gonna go in. The wards will see him, although so will the Venge because she's right next to him. And pings out on the Earth Spirit and the Dark Willow wants to go back in. Broodmother will just pop a web and walk away. Crystal Maiden seeing everything. Now the Venge Vengeful Spirit with the Wave of Terror spots everyone out. Tiny still invisible. Shadow Blade wears off and he blinks away. Bounty Rune's available now. It is 25 minutes. Looks like I missed. We got 3 out for the Dire. Radiant gonna get 1 as a consolation prize.
Bottom tower has fallen.
And picks up a smoke to try to turn the tides. I do again. Look at my hotkeys. Nope, it's not. Oh, there's Vision. Radiant Vision pretty much sees just the heroes see. They don't have many wards out. Just that one. It's about a timeout. Dire, on the other hand, nothing on the Radiant side of the map. Just 1 in their jungle right here that we watched them put down. And lots of pings out. Looks like we could go for a clash in the middle. Neither team ready to take Rochette. Tower goes down. Earth Spirit was looking for the deny, but the Brood Mother gets it anyway out from under him. Did finally figure out my hotkeys. 2 Glimmer Capes out. 1 on the Vengeful Spirit, 1 on the Crystal Maiden. Did get the 3 Blink Daggers. Ag Scepter picked up on Jakiro. Look for him maybe to pick up the Kaya next. There it is, in fact. And he will want to do that extra damage now that he has the increased flame length duration and damage. So provided that his team can execute the control, it's a very good spell to be able to lay on top of the Bramble Maze, to lay on top of the Cursed Crown, as to put under them as they're running away and terrorize. Earth Spirit has been really good about hitting these stuns. Ward put down, unfortunately for them, it's not a sentry. They won't see the Nyx nor the Glimmer Cape bench. Stun goes out, but there's the Ice Path. There's the Macropire into the Bramble Maze. Hits on 2, terrorize. Necro's ult won't quite kill the Venge, but she'll go down anyway. Cursed Crown will hit on 1, barely misses the Nyx, and that's 2 kills. Nyx gets away with his life. And they haven't taken this tier 1 tower yet, so they can't take the tier 2 tower yet, although that's where the fight was. 1 quick attack from Tiny and the Necro will get it. Jakiro picks up the plus 40 dual breath damage. Going all magic damage. There's the 8% spell amp, more dual breath damage. Then he'll have his Kaya. This will be a force to be reckoned with. Willow uses her Glimmer Cape on him. He wants to just keep throwing the liquid fire out on the tower, but healed up by the backdoor protection as much as is possible. And they'll go in now. Tiny has a tree available to him. Won't decide to use it. Will Avalanche. No toss. Tosses without the Avalanche. And the Echo Saber gets the kill. No, it doesn't. Debuff didn't quite hit him. And he'll get away. Well, unfortunately for Nyx, why can I not think of what that's called? The upgraded urn is a much harder hitting item than the urn itself. But his base HP regen will save him. Gets into the fountain and heals up. A lot of posturing. Here, going up to the high ground. Wants to pop the liquid fire on the tower, but Tiny will avalanche toss in. Avalanche hits on Crystal Maiden. Toss doesn't. Macropire out on top of the ice path. Magnetize on 2. Bench gonna tick down on the backside. Lots of damage. Brood goes down. Impale misses on everyone. Sven ticking down. Gets stunned up by the ice path. Tossed up. Goes down. Does have buyback available. 2 out already. 3 make that. The Venge, the Brood, and the Sven. Avalanche onto Venge. Goes down before the Glimmer Cape has a chance to go off. Stun off the mark again. Ghost Shroud out. But Sven gets the kill anyway. Toss the Brood Mother back. Has webs available. And the Earth Spirit will roll after the Jakiro, who uses Ice Pass on Sven. He's taking down the damage over time. Silenced up, stunned up. Gonna rotate around. The Spirit Vessel will get him, but he's alive. No, he's not. Earth Spirit rolls in and gets the kill, while Brood Mother gets caught out again. Avalanche, no toss available, and Tiny blinks away as the Orchid comes out. Gonna go down. Lifesteal not quite able to make it, and before even the toss, it was the damage from Jakiro that got him. Ice Path onto the Crystal Maiden. The TV back in here gets the kill and missed one in the back line. And she, well, it's the Nyx. He came behind and killed the Tiny. He killed the Jakiro. He used the Spirit Vessel. Has 4 more charges, but so does the Earth Spirit. Rolls up to the high ground. I gotta say that he's either the best accidental boulder or the most perfect planned one. I'm not sure which it was. And he'll blink away with the Spirit Vessel on himself and pick up an Invis rune, although no one's chasing him. More just to make sure that his enemies don't get it either. We'll say okay, just to his allies though. Willow pings out the double damage. So this is a support Willow. Picked up the cast range, as well as the Glimmer Cape and Dust. Might look to see him pick up another item like the Lotus Orb, using the Bedlam to take down a camp of Ancients. That's actually a lot of damage. I don't think that it's affected by the double damage. Maybe it is. I'll have to check that after this game. But it is a lot of damage. Very effective wave clear and hero kill technique. Dire is recovering, though, from that last fight. They held their base, didn't quite have anything fall, but they did lose a lot of heroes. And if I could figure out my hotkeys for the gold graph, I would show it to you. But I can't. There we go. Radiant taking it up about 7,000 right now, 6,000 if you ask this. Gold lead. And I am absolutely losing my mind. Gotta sort this. There we go. Dire all in their jungle right now. Radiant is not smoked up, but going to try to find them. Will place down the sentry. Would have spotted the Nyx if he was there. Unfortunately for them, the Dire sentry on its last legs, 15 seconds. And they could take it, but it looks like they're afraid. They don't know who's going to jump on them. They got to go soon. They've got 8 seconds. Crystal Maiden will hit 1, will hit 2, and it goes down, so they won't be able to see. And Tiny will... He'll go Shadow Blade where he knows there's a sentry. Unfortunately, it just ran out, so they won't be able to see. Crystal Maiden jumps away, dusts out. Reaper's Sight on the support. Does have the Exo, so it's only a 40-second cooldown. Not quite as much of a waste. And the Crystal Maiden Vengillusion will do some measly auto attacks. Unfortunately, down for 90 seconds. They're pinging out Rosh, so they want to go. The Dire Ward, though, spots them out, so they could try to contest Arcane Rune on the Necro for 3.5 seconds. I'm sorry, cooldown on his Death Falls. Grouped up in mid, buyback from the Crystal Maiden actually just became available, so they're going to want to go in if they can. Actually a pretty slow Rosh, considering most of their damage is in Magic Burst. They'll spot out the Earth Spirit, dagging him up, but he's so tanky for their support, and he'll get away with not very much health. The invisibility will keep him alive. Wave of Terror goes out. Tiny bleed forward. Avalanche tossed on the 2. Ice Path to follow it up. Gets the kill. Necro is silenced up. He won't be able to use it just yet. But there's the Terrorize, and it tears them up. Broodmother running low. Cursed Crown will stun him. Crystal Maiden trying to run away. Earth Spirit, though, gets the Rolling Boulder. Doesn't know where he's going, though. And Necro will use his second Scythe to kill him. That is a 4-man wipe, and Sven's not even trying. He knows he won't be able to contest it, so he's going into the bottom lane. Got Strength available, not going to use it. Gonna back up, though, even though he doesn't have a reason to. Scared that someone will come find him. They're still content to just kill this Rosh. Pop the Lincolns, and they'll leave Necro in here alone. They're going to give it to him. Their most fearsome player, highest in the net worth, highest number of kills in the game, 16. 16 and 13, that's 29, not about, well, over 50% kill participation. I could do that math. Hell, but not in my head. That's just a recipe for disaster. Clearly heading up the last hits of Nice, although that doesn't matter so much at this point.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
And definitely the highest GPM, contributing to the net worth lead that is still rising. There's a dip every once in a while where these team fights happen, and then a spike following the victories for the for the Radiant. But it is moving in the direction of the Radiant, up and up and up. Blink forward by the Necro. They'll spot out the Venge. We'll see if he uses the Necro, the Reaper Sight, just because. Rolling Boulder out, hits on target again, dusted up on the Vengeful Spirit. There's the Reaper Sight for down for 100 seconds. And the Radiant right now just own this map. Up, down, sideways. Nyx afraid to go out at this point because they'll see him. They've been so good about having the dust. Ice Path forward on nobody. But there's dust on the Earth Spirit, there's dust on the Dark Willow. There's a lot of dust available. Bruge is covering this whole place in webs, wants to be able to live and get out. Nyx throwing out some stuns, the Mana Burn, and a Dagon or two, and a Spirit Vessel. But he's not really doing a hit. He's not really putting much of a dent in. Broodmother picks up, I haven't talked about items in a while, but picked up a massive Madness, probably the extra attack speed. But that will silence her, so has to be able to get off the insatiable hunger for it. Blink forward, Avalanche toss. Nyx gets away, but not quite. They'll kill up the Necro, just the Aegis, and Terrorize will disengage while the Cursed Crown stuns up 2. They're looking for better positioning. Tiny throws out 1. Necro Reaper Scythe kills 2, and that's 3 down because the bench never came back up. Broodmother gets away. And they're not playing objective gaming though, so they don't have any of the towers. They're actually just going behind on the team, and the Necro will die. That's a rich Broodmother now. There's a stun up, Insatiable Hunger, the Mask of Madness still going. Doesn't have another Orchid up quite yet. Following up, he's under the tower, but they don't see him. And this is actually not a great play for the Radiant because they haven't taken an objective yet. They have the pushers, they have the Liquid Fire, they have the Tiny, but they're not even doing it. And this Broodmother is just going to pop the BKB, dodge out the Avalanche. Ben's going to come in, stun on the Tiny, the Mask of Madness doing its work with the Incapacitating Bite, and she's just running circles around them. That's going to be a second kill for Brood. That's going to be another Insatiable Hunger. Almost a Satanic popped up. That's a third kill for Brood. Brood going to go in on the Earth Spirit, but misses the roll because she ran in front of him, and that's a fourth kill. Of course, it's only a triple because one of them was early. But look at that Brood. Net worth rocketed up to the top. I actually didn't see what it was before, but a lot of money out. We'll have... That's not for her, but 2,700 gold now to pick up whatever he wants. And of course, we have to get some Normalanes, because that's, well, this was before yesterday when the compendiums just died for absolutely no reason. Bench up on the top lane, going to try to push the wave, but doesn't have a whole lot of health, so all it would take would be one rotation. However, everyone except the Dark Willow out on the Radiant side is currently dead. So going back to what we talked about in the draft, we're seeing, and now the lead's only 9k and falling. We crested that peak, and it's coming back down. You look at the Radiant side, and you see that they've got a lot of control. They've got the Tiny, who can scale well into the late game. They've got the Necro, who definitely has scaled, but he's reaching his peak. He's really only got one more item slot, and then he'll go for travels. Could pick up a Pocket Refresher, but he's not going to. Next, will just scout out a few while we're talking here. The Earth Spirit not making money quickly enough to really scale. He's got his dual set, he's got his Blink Dagger, but he really wants... Oh, he's got the Spirit Vessel as well, but he really wants, you know, an Axe and a Blade Mail and a Heart if he's going to be late game ready as more than just, you know, a little bit of control. Hero has Kaya and Axe, and that's, you know, he's going to get a Veil, but that's not going to add a whole lot to the team. They've already got about as much burst damage as they could. So, well, I shouldn't shortchange it. On a magic damage team, the Veil is going to be very helpful. But he's already about as useful as he's going to be between the Yules, the Ags, and the Kaya. So we're seeing a Radiant team here, and Tiny building the Shadow Blade and Link Sphere, not tanky items, not damage items. Really scared. So pop out the Reaper Scythe, try to get the Brood, but he misses. BKB pops him and run away to go heal. So nothing happening yet. They'll just posture. The Radiant side is not necessarily in trouble yet, but they aren't going to scale a whole lot more than they already have. Swap back onto the Tiny into the Radiant base. Curse Crown makes the heal far enough away. Terrorize onto all of them, and Tiny will try to get out. Toss up on the Earth Spirit. Glimmer Cape pop, but he will walk under the tower. Magnetize onto 4. That's one going to go down to the Magnetize. The second one going to go down to the Magnetize. Well, not to the Magnetize. Necro gets both of those kills, and they will finally pick up a tier 3 tower. Willow going to take down the Spirit Vessel, though. Maybe. The Glimmer Cape has some magic resist. It will run off at the same time, and they'll put a positive one on her, so she'll be able to survive. 3 versus 5 here. Blink in, Avalanche, Toss. That's another one hit with the Reaper Scythe. Buyback immediately. Curse Crown onto 1. Stun and Silence, both from the Earth Spirit. Bedlam popped out. Going forward, only 2 back alive on the Dire, and yet still somehow they've only managed to get the objectives, and they're actually going to go for the GG push. They don't want this anymore. We've seen how bad this can happen. The LGD tried this against OG in Game 3 of their upper bracket finals the other day, and we'll have another 20 seconds before with some more respawns on the Dire. But what are they going to do? They've actually stopped. They killed 2 more. And interesting. This could be the end of the game. I thought we were going to have some time before anyone respawned, but they'll just keep going. Crystal Maiden's up. Sven is up. Buyback status for the... Well, they're going to go for the Ancient. Stun up onto 1. Sven is alive. Avalanche toss. Crystal Maiden's leaning forward. Has her BKB. Stuns up. Bramble Maze. Doesn't matter. Crystal Maiden will walk right through it. There's a stun on the hero. He dodges the Fuel Scepter. God Strength pop. That's 1 attack to take it. Sven's Echo Saber wasn't even needed for that. Blink available in one, he'll blink forward. Get the Echo Saber second hit on the Tiny. He's just going to turn around. 1 second till Nyx is up. Stun out on the Tiny. Lincoln's popped. Crystal Maiden, Glimmer Cape's forward. Frostbite. And Earth Spirit wants to go in with the Spirit Vessel on him. But can't get the kill. Crystal Maiden tanky in her own right. 1600 health. That's the PKV talking as well as the magic resistance from the Glimmer Cape. And Spirit Vessel charge is just healing everyone up on the Radiant. Some damage being done to the Dire's Ancient, but nothing that can't be undone. Tiny's already left. He's going to the top lane where there's still a tier 1 tower to farm up more. And Earth Spirit blinks forward, stun on 2, magnetize onto 1, misses the magnetized spread, and he'll be stunned up by the Nyx. Impale onto 3, although Curse Crown will kill the Nyx's momentum. Sven blinks forward, stuns out on 1, he's getting low. 3 Precise will kill him though. He has buyback available. Will buy back immediately. Crystal Maiden down. Does have buyback as well. There's another buyback. And they'll come out. Fortification onto. This is a real weird fight we got going on.
Is under attack.
Although, I might as well just keep back analysis. Crystal Maiden blinks forward, stuns onto 1, drops the freezing field, starts to let it go. Necro getting away, is invisible, but he's stunned up by the Broodmother. Ghost Shroud out, doesn't matter. He goes down to the Broodmother. Broodmother gets another one. Will get 3 with the incapacitating blade. Actually, she's finally back up. Was down for like 2 whole minutes there. And now we've got the Dire back into this game. Jakiro finally picks up that Veil. And a big wave pushing in top. Tiny behind it, but he's alone. The Jakiro's back in base. Maybe he'll try to get his solo kill onto the Venge, but that could be the death of him. Basically what we're seeing here is
top tower is under attack.
The Radiant Edge, there we go. Avalanche toss, the Venge is alive though. She'll throw out the stun, get the Lincoln Sphere pop. Probably not keeping a counter, but we'll back off on both sides. No one rotating in. While Sven and Broodmother they both have TPs. Going down mid, Sven's got his crit. Broodmother has a Bloodthorn and creeps her shear shortly.
Radiant
Get rid of the backdoor protection, but Glyph's out. Radiant still has their Glyph because they haven't needed to use it. Avalanche toss totally misses. There's the Lincoln's pop. Tries to go invisible, but they won't see him. If you want to go back in, Jakiro's there for the stun, has a haste rune. Yule Scepter up. Ice Path dropped. Stun on the Jakiro. BKB popped on the Broodmother, just going to go in. There's Liquid Fire, the Macroplier used to no effect at all. And they're just going in. 1 buyback available, Willow's back in 7. Tiny's going to go heal up. And they could just push this tower. They will. They've got the rest of the team following them. They're pushing. Their side lanes are pushed in, but their mid lane is where the Raxxon is, so it doesn't really matter. Bramble Maze hits 3. Blink forward by the Crystal Maiden. Gonna try to let it go. Doesn't have enough mana. BKB popped, and the Willows use their Shadow Realm to get away. And stun goes out. Will die. Avalanche toss, but the Glimmer came up. He's under the tower, but all that does is the magic resistance swap out, and Sven will survive. The stun misses. Rolls forward. Doesn't actually get there, but the magnetized pop. Cancelled in the middle. No, he will get it, but it didn't hit on anyone. And there's the Earth Spirit down as well. Sven will TP home. Actually, no, he won't. He'll cancel. And they'll try to go to Rosh now, maybe, if they can. Yeah, they're pinging it out. Broodmother will cancel her TP as well, but Sven needs to heal up. Spirit Vessel on him, but he still doesn't have a whole lot of health. And only the Morbid Mask wants to pick up a BKB. Only 5 gold away, but that means he won't have buyback. Doesn't matter, because it's on cooldown for 5 minutes. Pings out from the Broodmother, knows it's the Invis rune. Don't want to give it to the Radiant just yet, although they know that only 2 of them are up. And they don't... I'm trying to find my hotkeys. There we go. They don't see him. They don't see the Radiant side, so they don't know that they're not there yet. Tiny Invis up, going into Rosh. He does have a Silver Edge. He's going to go for Rosh. The Dire... Oh, I have the... I lost the position. There we go. The Dire Sentry Ward. That's fine. I'm not thinking. Drop the Liquid Fire, the Macro Fire for it. They're going in. The Dire don't even know they're here, so there's a Rosh picked up. Here's the Nyx solution. They see it. The Rosh is almost dead, though. They're going to find out far too late, and the Agent goes onto the Necrophos. Spiderling is coming through. The Necro is going to see them spin. Necro over to the middle. Radius to the Veil. We're going to cancel any blinks to come out. Broodmother is hesitant, pops the web, and goes into the trees. Tiny invisible. Jakiro following up. Necro inching forward. He's picking up an E-Blade to replace that Aegis. Broodmother pops the BKB, but doesn't have any webs. We'll pop it now. Just the auto attack damage taking him down a little bit farther than he feels comfortable with. We'll look to have another strong hold for the Dire. They want to take the shrines first, get a little bit of map control back before they go in. One more building, a little bit more control. Defense pings come out for the Dire. And now we're going to see them go in. They're going to take the street wave. They'd be more effective going into the sides, but they see blood in the water. They smell blood in the water, and they want to go for this ancient wave of terror. Going to get the vision up. Sven just popping the creeps. Jakiro going forward, might want to. No, there's the Necro. Lays down the ice pass, goes in on the Nick, but he's force tapped away before. Avalanche toss, goes up. Terrorize hits on only one because the BKBs are popped. There's the agent down already. They pop the Jakiro like it's nobody's business, and Tiny is already low, gonna have to pop away. Necro is totally isolated and goes down to the God Strength friend, and now the shoe is on the other foot. Dire wants to push in. Tiny's gonna show himself, didn't quite vision. Almost immediate buyback from the Jakiro. They need to hold down. And this is just a battle in the mid lane. Regen room popped by the Earth Spirit, and they need to get back because we've got 5 angry Dire heroes down in the middle. And Nyx is the only one who's not at full health and will use his urn on himself. Spirit Vessel, excuse me. But what we just saw is what I talked about in the diagram. I tried to talk about before this big fight happened. Sven and Broodmother are just out carrying the Radiant side. Tiny is the biggest carry they've got. Necro reached his peak. And now with the control that's coming in from the Venge and the Dagon 3, but they'll stop out on the Jakiro. Bloodthorn comes through. He'll try to ATOS his way out, but he'll be so low he doesn't have a sword tap to get himself. Crystal Maiden will get the kill. Okay, says Earth Spirit. And Dark Willow might need to buy back. They've got nothing else. And Spence is hanging on the tower. They want this game to end. Broodmother pops the Mask of Madness, pops the Insatiable Hunger, and will go in, and what can they do? Willow, buyback is now or literally now or never. Might be trying to win this up, but they might not have 6 more seconds. There's the fortify, so they do 3, 2, 1, and she'll be back. But what are they going to do? Blink forward, magnetize onto 1, look at the Nexus go down, terrorize hits on 3, but Sven's still knocking away at the door. He'll go straight on the Ancient. Tiny throws out the Avalanche toss, Curse Crown, but the BKB comes, will miss. Tiny going down to the stun. He goes down. Willow, Shadow Realm's not going to help. And buys back, but what are they going to do? They've got 2 BKB carries sitting there. Tower, swap out, stun out. Duels up on the Earth Spirit. There's Necro, 3 for sight. There's another one.
Ancient is under attack.
And it's getting really low, but Crystal Maiden's still here. Maiden's still here. And they do a lot of damage. Ven's going to get the last hit, and that is good. Good game for the Dire. Didn't lie to me, there was quite a swing, went all the way up from, there's Dire Victory getting in my way, went all the way up from the, I think it was about a 15k or a 20k peak. So good game to the Radiant, nice try, but the Dire will win that out in the end. So, I appreciate you sticking with me if you were here at all, and that will be all for today. I'm glad I got the opportunity, and thank you to Reddit user Carp490 for giving me that game to cast. I'll post this into YouTube, and we'll go from there. Thanks.